All right, we are officially recording, so welcome to our monthly meeting for Team Embrace. We have Summer, who's brand new. We have
Hello.
Berlinda, that is from Royal Believers, as a guest.
Yes.
And then we have Patty, who's been around for, what, 2 years now, Patty?
No, not even a year.
Not even a year? Oh, God, it feels like you've been with us for so long. And I am Peg Wilson. I am your star director for Team Embrace. So this month I'm not gonna. I was going to do some number reviews, but we don't have a lot of people on here, so I'm not going to do a whole lot of number reviews. Last month, lots of complaints about it being slow. Last month, I think the downfall of it being the month after Christmas, and anybody that's been around for a while knows that our slow months are January, June, and July. So Scentsy usually does something special for us to kind of help us promote during those months, so we usually have some kind of a hostess special. That last month it was 10% off the bars. Normally, when it's not COVID time, it's 10% off everything in the fall catalog, but things were selling out so quickly they didn't feel they needed to do the 10% off of everything, so they just did 10% off of bars. But it still seemed to be generally a little bit slower. I am finding, and you guys can tell me if you're finding this, I'm finding that Facebook's changed something again with the algorithms, and I'm not getting the feedback that I'm getting, that I normally would get. So Facebook has been a little bit tough with using that for your business. And Facebook in general, they're trying to stop us from using, small businesses from using Facebook for that type of platform, which leaves us in small businesses. It leaves us trying to find other ways to get our business out there. And that's one of the things that I started to talk about was branding. And branding is one of the ways to get your business out there. Now, in COVID world, we're not getting out as much as we used to. So, again, this leaves us in a pickle where we have to find another way to do our business. And, I think that for everybody, the answer is different as to what you do to get your word out there. But, the proven success is one-on-one. So the proven success is reaching out to your customers one-on-one and developing those relationships with them. I mean, I'm all over Facebook, comment on people's posts, and I send messages out. I mean, this month started out a little bit slower for me. And again, I just sent messages out. And something that I did do, are you guys doing anything with the Scentsy Club? Are you
No.
pushing out with your customers or reaching out to your customers? Okay, so I will tell you that I've gotten my club now, it's up to 12 people. And that was a big focus of mine. And the reason it was a big focus is because I saw another superstar director who had done a video. She had done a YouTube video, and I watched it. And she talked about how she uses Scentsy Club as like her base. So what she tries to do is, as a leader, as any leader, you have to sell $500 to get paid on your team. So if you want to get paid a title, you have to at least sell that minimum $500. So her goal was to make her Scentsy Club her guaranteed $500 income every month. So she
Hmm.
really started focusing on building her Scentsy Club subscriptions, reaching out to her customers, explaining what the Scentsy Club was, all the perks that are involved in it, and started to build that subscription. She now has it where she has $3,000 a month in Scentsy Club subscriptions.
Wow.
So yes, that's freaking amazing.
Wow.
It's absolutely amazing. So could you imagine if you started out your month with $3,000 without doing anything? So one of the things that she does though for her Scentsy club members, hey Jimmy, for her Scentsy club members, she
She's saying hi.
Oh, I
hey
said hi.
Jimmy,
She
how
hear
are
you.
you?
Oh, thought you said you couldn't hear me.
Go
I was,
ahead.
oh,
How are you, Jim? Jimmy's on our team too. This is his daughter Summer, so we have a duo. I mean, imagine if that were your regular income, that you had that without you doing anything. So one of the things that she does is that she spoils her club members. So club members get certain exclusives. They do, different things like that. So as I'm building up my subscription slowly, I had 8 people. So I had 8 people in my club, and I sent all 8 of those people a shoebox at the start of the season. And the shoebox consisted of samples of all the things that you can put in your club. So it was a sample of counter clean, it was a sample of dish liquid, a sample of Scentsy Fresh. It was counter clean, all-purpose cleaner, Scentsy Fresh, a bath soak, um, I put hand cream, a sample of hand cream that I bought through the store. So it was, some of them were samples that I made, but I put them in cute little bottles and I put little ribbons around them. I made them like fancy looking. Most of them were local to me that I could deliver, and 3 of them I had to ship. So they cost me a little more. I mean, they cost me like $7 to ship them, but each box was full of a lot of stuff. And then I added, everybody got a flower. So not only did I get a fragrance flower, but they got a red marker. So because I made it like a Valentine's box. So they got a flower and they got a red marker and instructions on how to color it. And then I went to the dollar store and I bought little rhinestone, like strips of rhinestone so that they could decorate the jar on their flower. I put a chocolate rose in there, like all these different things. And like, I love my customers. I bought the foam hearts. You get them at the dollar store. I think it's like 12 in a pack for $1. As a matter of fact, I had one over here. Yeah, I do have one here.
So you're talking about a Scentsy flower,
Yeah, I gave them
not a
fragrance-
flower.
I gave them a fragrance flower and then I gave them a chocolate flower as well. But I got
Okay.
these. So these came from the dollar store and you get 12 of them in a pack. They came purple, pink, and red. And I got a Sharpie and I wrote on here, I love Scentsy. And I sat this on top and I put some little heart confetti in there and, just some filler stuff in there. Little, like a little Valentine's, like it was like a shaker thing for Valentine's, like all dollar store stuff that I put in there. But I decorated the box real nice. The ones that were local, I wrapped it up in a ribbon. I put, I bought stickers again from the dollar store, little heart foam stickers that I stuck all over it, and then I wrote them all a nice little note saying, thank you for being in my club. I love my club members. You get exclusives to all these different things. This box is full of all goodies that you can add to your club if you choose to, enhance your club. Of course, when you need warmers, you come back to me, but then I explained everything that was in there. So cleaning stuff. And then I said, here's our all purpose cleaner. This jar should be mixed with, 1 part cleaner to 3 parts water. You can use this in your steam mop and, all the different things you can do. And then like the counter clean, I actually, I put a sponge, and again, dollar store, a sponge in a little Tupperware container that fit the sponge perfectly. It was about this big. They came, I think they were 4 for $1. And then the sponges, it was 8 for $1. So I soaked the sponge with that one I did dish soap. I soaked the sponge with dish soap and put that in there. So then I put instructions that this sponge is, saturated with our dish soap, and I told them what scent it was and what they could do. So all of that I sent to them, and I got thank yous from all. Oh my God, I love my little surprise box. This was so cool. Oh, it was really great. Put a new catalog in there. I put scent stickers and little wax samples of all the new scents that were coming out. Well, I had one girl who showed that box. She brought it to work and showed the box at work. I got 2 more club subscriptions from it and another girl who now is a customer from that one box. So, it's like little things like that you're going to do, that you're going to spoil your customers. And they say, one girl said, oh yeah, I had another girl that was like a friend of a friend. She's in another state. But after I saw Kristen's box, I was like, oh, I'm going to order from her. So, I mean, it's a matter of making it so that people want to buy from you, spoiling your customers and setting that baseline. So I've been encouraging people to like really, really work on the club, and get people, because you don't have to touch it. They manage their own club, but you want to make sure that you still keep in touch with them as they're, so every month when their club order comes in, I say, oh, your club order just came through. Oh yeah, you're going to love, such and such. And, and I try to track what they ordered last time, what they ordered this time, so I could see what they've switched up and see, things that they're keeping in there that you always get my bar. So and let them know if there are things that are, in their club that are going to be going away. Well, make sure that if you want more than one of those, you up your club, so it's a matter of really paying attention to your club. I started a little spreadsheet so I can, pay attention to my club members and see what they do and what kind of fragrances they like. And every once in a while, just drop a thank you in the mail, drop a sample in the mail. I did see there are some consultants who, like, every time they get a club order, they send out a thank you and a sample, and it's up to you whether you want to do that. But I would really focus on doing that and talk to people about the benefits of the club. It really is something that is highly beneficial to you, and you don't have to do anything. The only time you have to worry about that is when somebody wants to order a warmer, and you let them know when you order a warmer, but spoil them. So I mean, my plan is to do that with every season. So every catalog season that comes out. So guess what? Maybe it will cost me $25, twice a year. So if I have to spend $50 on that person, but if they're spending $30 to $60 every single month and they're building that subscription up, so that they're ordering regularly, it's worth it. Now, I treated everybody, whether they were a monthly subscription or a quarterly subscription, I treated them all the same. That's up to you whether you want to treat them different. Like I have one lady she loves clove and cinnamon. So clove and cinnamon goes away in the summer, but she loves it. It's the only scent that she warms. So she put 5 bars in her club. So for her, was it worth me doing a $25 box? Maybe not. But this time I did everybody the same because maybe I can encourage her to add some of the cleaning products and things like that to it.
Well,
If
maybe
it's
she didn't know. Maybe she didn't know that it was cleaning products, and
right.
so now she knows.
Yeah.
So
And now they got an
that's great.
opportunity, like even the people who know, like I just had, so I did like a Super Bowl block thing, and I sent it out to my regular customers, did it privately, and the final prize was a shopping spree. So the girl who won the shopping spree is somebody that I grew up with, and she's, I know she's just being nice, and she bought a mini warmer, and she bought a couple of things, and then one time I sent her the counter clean. So she tried the counter clean and she loves the counter clean. So with what she won, she ordered, a bunch of the counter clean, and she ordered another mini warmer and a couple bars of wax, Well, I threw in there some bathroom cleaner because she said she loves the counter clean and she's obsessed with cleaning. So I threw in the bathroom cleaner in the same scent that she got the counter clean. So let's see how this goes, and it's a matter of doing those little things like building up your business so that you can be consultative. And first off, building up your business so that you have the extra money to do those extra things. That counter clean or there's throwing that bathroom cleaner in there cost me $8 to throw the bathroom cleaner in there. But I'm making enough money now on my club and my regular customers that I can afford to do that here and there. So it's a matter of building that baseline so that you're not always, just trying to sell the minimum. I put something out there on the team page too earlier today about, setting, building your business up and setting your goals. People say all the time, oh yeah, my goal is $500. Well, what are you doing to get that $500? Are you just saying, I want to sell $500? You actually have to have a plan to do that. I forget what the saying is. The saying is something about a goal without a plan is just a dream. So you could say you want to sell $500 all day long, but you have to actually have a plan on how you're going to do that. And that plan is going to be different for everybody. I mean, I have people all the time that say to me, how do you sell $2,000 a month? Well, for me, how I do it is I reach out to my customers. I send samples out to my customers. I'm not afraid to reach out and say, I've got an order going in. Do you need anything? I haven't heard from you in a couple months. How's your stash? Do you need any supplies? But I'll do that regularly where I'll go through my customers and I'll go back and pull a sales report. Does everybody on here know how to pull a sales report?
No.
No. Okay. So if you go to the reporting tab, and this is something that I'll challenge the 3 of you since you're on here, go in and play in your workstation. You're not going to break it. Go in and play and find out what all those buttons are. And when it has reports, find out what all those reports are. Just go in there and start clicking around and start playing with stuff. And you'll be like, oh, I can figure this out. So if you go to your reporting tab and you hit sales report, you can actually pull a report for every product. So you could say, I want to know how many people ordered a black raspberry vanilla flower. So you can go in there and choose product, black raspberry vanilla flower, choose a date range. You could choose it from when you first started, or well, the flowers weren't around when we first started, Berlinda, but you could pull it for the past year. Everybody who ordered a fragrance flower. So you can do that by product and you can do it by customer. So if I want to know what Patty Martin ordered from me from the beginning of time, I could just pull a report on Patty Martin and it'll give me all the stuff that she ordered and all the details. The sales report runs a little bit slow, but you can get that report. You can export it. So if say the Mickey, your pal Mickey is going out of stock, and we're not going to have it for the spring. You could pull a report on everybody who ordered Your Pal Mickey, and you can message all of them and say, hey, I know that you love this Your Pal Mickey. Do you want to start a Scentsy club and put this in the club? Like that's the advantages of doing it whenever it's like the end of a season. That's really beneficial to pull one of those reports. So, very snowy spruce is going away. Well, you have people who absolutely love their house to smell like a Christmas tree, even in the summer. If you pull a report on very snowy spruce, you'll get all those customers. Just want to let you know that it's going out of stock for the season. Not sure if it'll be back. I mean, very snowy spruce seems to always come back, but you know, there are some scents that don't. Painted leaves. Painted leaves, it was huge for my customers. I got 2 people who joined the club just because they didn't want to lose painted leaves again because it was back for a while. So pulling those sales reports are so beneficial to you. You know, go in the workstation, play around, find different things that you can do. You can pull like trending reports. You can go in and find out who's reading your newsletter. You know, you can find out how many clicks they made. So if you go into your newsletter, you go into your account settings, and then where the newsletter, have you guys gone in and personalized your newsletter? Summer, you may not have yet.
Yeah, I haven't yet.
So they'll send you an email like 5 days before the newsletter is due to go out. They'll say you'll get an email from Scentsy saying, you know, that the newsletter, and it's actually, there's actually a little ribbon right across your workstation that'll say it's time to update your newsletter. You hit that button that says you want to update your newsletter, and you can customize it. So for me,
Okay.
generally the newsletter doesn't have anything about joining. I always add something to my newsletter about joining my team. You know, it's the beginning of a new catalog season. Wouldn't it be great for the spring if you had a little extra money to go on vacation with your family? Consider joining my team. You know, you put in your own words, you can customize the newsletter, add anything you want. You can take out everything that they did or just leave it preset the way they do it. So I try and add something to every single newsletter about joining because my focus is growing my team. So I add something like that every single time. But when you're in that same tab where you customize your newsletter, you can go in and see the stats of how many people actually opened your newsletter. You can find out how many of them got stuck in spam and are still rotating. So you can check with those customers and say, hey, you know, is your email up to date? You know, I go through every once in a while and I'll check the bad. If you pull a regular customer report, like if you just go to your customer contacts and you pull a regular report, you could pull a report of all time and download it into Excel. And then you could see all the ones, there's a checkbox that says bad email. So go into all those people that says bad email. You know, Scentsy, after a while, if they don't open their email, Scentsy will just stop sending it to them after like 6 months. But I go in there and I check regularly. If the people are unchecked, that they're not getting my newsletter, I want to find out why they're not getting my newsletter. Because that's my contact with them every single month. They get that newsletter. And if they're not reading it, I want to check with them and say, you know, hey, do you get my newsletter? It might be going to your spam folder. Can you check and make sure, you know, so that if they allow it to come through, then they're actually getting to see it. They might not even see it if it's going to their spam folder. So check with them. Or if it's something that says bad email, maybe when I type their email address in there, you know, I put a space, I put something, you know, a dash in there where it's supposed to be an underscore, you know, so I'll confirm with them what their email address is, but you really have to be diligent about it. And it's your business. So it's your business. You've got to make sure that, you know, you're bringing those customers in. So anybody have any questions?
No,
No, has anybody tried any of this stuff?
I've
I
got
have-
reports
Yeah.
joined.
Go ahead, Berlinda, go ahead, you go first.
I've tried the contacts, but the up on the top when it says minus column, I try to do an Excel just to do the name, the address, and city and state, and I had to play around with the columns, which
Okay,
ones I wanted to be printed. I didn't want all of it to be printed.
right.
Only wanted individual ones. So you know, so I learned how to do that.
Yeah, select the visible columns and you
Mhm.
just drag over what you want. You can drag them all over and then you can just add the ones that you want. So that's something else that you can do when you're saying, you know, export to Excel. You can tell it which ones you want to see visible first. I do that with like my team reports because like my team reports don't tell me people's lifetime PRV. And I want to see their lifetime PRV so that I could see the people who, you know, are qualifying for, you know, for certified, you know, that have been around for a while, if they're, you know, reaching the milestones of, you know, 10,000 lifetime PRV and stuff like that. So I always add that. But, you know, I mean, that visible column thing is really, that's a powerful tool. So when you're doing your customers. So once you pull them into Excel, what do you do with it?
I turn around and well, what I did last month, I got a bag. It was a purple bag, and it was like a 11 or 6 by 11 or so. And I created this little paper, and it talked about, it was a scavenger hunt. It was something to do with little tabs, because mark off, what you want in the book. And I put a Band-Aid in there because, flipping through the catalog, you might get a paper cut.
Oh,
And
that's cute.
so it's something for my best customers, to let them know, like what you said, to spoil them.
Right.
So so a lot of them come back, commented me back, thank you, and this is sweet, and whatever, and then they're placing orders.
Awesome. Awesome. Yeah.
So I needed this.
Use that list. That list is powerful,
Yeah, it is.
And I mean, I use the note section. Do you use the note section in yours?
Yes.
Because that note section, my notes, man, some of my notes are this long for some customers, because every time I have a contact with that customer, well, Patty, you were my customer. You were my customer.
Right.
I knew what Disney products you liked. You probably thought I was a genius, that, wow, it's great that Peg remembers me all the time, but it's because I kept notes. I kept notes on where I met you, the things that you came and you bought when I met you. I met you at Deptford Marriott. You came, you met my niece first. And, I had all those notes underneath that note section, so that when I reach out to those customers, there's nothing nicer than when somebody reaches out to you and says, oh, Peg, how's your daughter Caitlin doing? And I'm like, wow, that's really nice.
Right.
They remembered me. They remembered my first name. They remembered that my daughter Caitlin, like, wow, how nice is that? And that's sales 101.
Mhm.
Sales 101 is making your customer feel like they are special. You want every single customer to feel like they're special. They are special. They're special. They're your bread and butter, and you want them all to feel special. So use that note section to keep your notes. I mean, when I go to vendor events, I have people fill out the drawing slips. So, I mean, my drawing slips, I take my drawing slips and well, this one's blank. Actually, that's because I have the notes on the front. But you see the little notes that I have written here? That's because I met this lady, and it says, that there were 2 girls with her. They like the Stella and the Elephant Buddies. She uses Scentsy all the time. Okay, so she gave me her information. So I am going to follow up with this lady, because she's a Scentsy lover, and she's got 2 kids that are interested in those buddies. So I have that sitting right next to me here, and I'm going to follow up with her, and I'm going to say to her, hey, I know that you really like those buddies. Guess what? I still have them. And look at these new ones that are out. They make great Easter gifts. Did you see the giant eggs? A lot of people were advertising them. Oriental Trading has these. They're called gigantic eggs is what they're called. As some people said, you can get them at the dollar store, but it costs me $10 for a dozen of them. So they're giant eggs, and guess what fits perfectly in them? Our buddy clips.
You in there?
So our buddy clip, the whole thing fits right inside it. It's absolutely perfect. And the ones like the sidekicks, you could take them out of the container and put the sidekicks in there. But they're great for Easter. So I'm advertising like crazy. And guess what? If you order a buddy clip from me, you get the Easter egg for free, for local customers. I put it out there on my group page for local customers. I'll do that because I'm not shipping the egg to them. If they order online, I'm not shipping the egg to them.
Right.
But it'll cost me more in shipping than it's worth it. But for local customers, if they want to come and pick it up, you can have an egg. And that's cute. I have a couple of events coming up. So I'm going to be advertising the egg with the buddy clips. Buy this buddy clip and you get this little, what I'm going to do is I actually have a bunch of the Mickey and Minnie buddy clips. And I really didn't sell a lot of them, but they're kind of Christmassy looking, and the container's Christmassy looking. So I'm going to take them out of the container and put them in the egg. The kids don't care if they're wearing a scarf. They really don't. It's Mickey and Minnie,
Nope.
So, the parents, I'll be like, yeah, well, they were kind of Christmas leftovers, but look, now they're in this egg. So now they're Easter. Go figure.
I had to get one of the Mickey warmers. I already have it like sitting right over there.
Oh, there you go. Oh, is that the new one?
It's
Is that the new one or is that the old one?
It's the whole head. Hold on.
Is it the head one? The new one?
Yeah,
that's
it's
the head?
the whole head. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
haven't
got
gotten
that.
to it yet. Well,
I
this is
just got
something
that
else
in
that I
today.
just did. So, see this?
What?
So I took old clamshells. I ripped the label off of old clamshells, and I bought all the new bars, and then I broke them all up into pieces, and I literally squished them in here. Look, nothing fancy. I didn't melt them. I didn't melt them. I just cut them and I squished them all in here.
Okay.
And then I made a little chart for what scent they are.
Okay, that's actually pretty cool.
And I'm going to send them to some of my best customers so that they're not just getting a sample of each one, they're actually getting a full cube. So they get a full cube of 8 different scents. It's not all the new scents, so I left 2 out,
Okay.
but and then like, so I've had people say to me, oh, I hear it mixes the scent. Once you get it and pop it out and you put it in the warmer, it's not in here. It actually smells kind of gross in here. I'm like, because it's overpowering. The flower ones are overpowering. That sun-soaked petal, I do not like sun-soaked petal, but I don't like floral at all. And when I open this up, that's the first thing I smell. I'm like, oh, But I mean, it's something that's a nice little thing. I mean, you have to put your own label on it and rip them off because we're really not supposed to repurpose. But this is meant to be samples. I'm not selling these. I'm giving these away. You could never
Okay.
sell these. I'm giving them away, and I'm giving them to my best customers, just like you would make felt samples or you would make cute little shapes and send them to them. Last year, I did cards that were like spring samplers, and it had like butterflies on it, and I actually found felt in the shape of butterflies. So I did that for the 10 new ones, and I stapled them across the card. So I did 5 across, and then 5 on the bottom. So when you flipped up my little plastic bag underneath, it told you what the scent was, and it was in a little butterfly shaped felt. But then they didn't really get a chance to use them. What was nice about the felt samples, though, is that I could mail it in like a 9x12 or a 6x9, like half size envelope, and it only cost me 1 stamp. So I could put that whole thing in there and it only cost me 1 stamp, which was nice. It was a 70-cent stamp, the non-machinable, but it was nice and it was cheap. This will be a little bit more expensive to mail, but I made like 10 of these. So, well, actually, no, I made 8 of them. I made 8 of them because I did 1 bar and I made 8 of them. So, 8 of my best customers will get those.
That's cool.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's, you have to kind of think outside the box and try different things. I mean, it's funny. I have so many people that keep putting stuff out. And when I reach out to team members and saying, how are you doing? It's like, oh, I've got a lot going on in my life. Oh, I've got a second job and I'm sorry, I've been working a lot and I've been doing this. Well, that means you're not treating this as a job. If you treat this like a job and you put in hours. So one of the things that I just put out recently on a post is if you were your Scentsy boss, which you are your Scentsy boss. So if you were your boss, would you fire you or would you promote you based on the performance that you're doing right now? So think of it that way. It's a job and you're your own boss. So if you set your regular hours and you're doing your job to get paid, then you'll get promotions and you'll get paid. If you're not doing your job, you're not going to get paid. So just like if you were working at Wawa, if you're working at Wawa and you're putting in your 3 hours, you're getting paid for your 3 hours. You're not getting paid for 6 hours. You're getting paid for 3 hours. So it's the same way with this. This is a business. This is a side hustle for most people. Most people are hobbyists. They're not doing this as a career. For me, I'm a hobbyist, but I'm a star director hobbyist because I put in my time. I do this. I dedicate a couple of hours every single night. Every night I'm doing something that involves Scentsy. My family gets sick of it, believe me. My family gets sick of it. But I treat this like a job. So this is my part-time job. I do my full-time job. I do this part-time. And if that's where you want to go, that's what's required. So think of it that way. You are your Scentsy boss. Would you promote you or would you fire you based on your performance? If you wanted to pay you like a job, you have to treat it like a job. And that's my tough love for today. Tough love. But it is. I mean, that's, so many people. And something else that drives me insane is when I see people who are consultants and they're doing a 31 party and they're doing a Tastefully Simple party and they're doing an It Works party and a Pampered Chef party. You're not building your own business. Why are you building somebody else's? If that person's doing a party for you and you want to do a party in exchange, that's great. It's a great way to branch yourself out and get yourself in contact with people that you may not have contact with. That's a great way. But if you're doing it to get yourself free and half price item, bam, up against your head. What are you doing? It's great to support small business. Support your friend. I support 31. I support Tastefully Simple. I have Pampered Chef out the wazoo. I have Tupperware out the wazoo. Origami Al, paparazzi. I got a whole cabinet full of paparazzi. I support all of my friends that are in small business, but I don't support them by having parties for them. I support them by buying from them. So if it's something that I want, I buy from them. If they want to have a party, I'll have a party for them. I usually throw them a little extra, but I generally don't have parties because I'm asking my family and friends to buy Scentsy. I'm not going to now go ask them to buy Pampered Chef so that I can get free stuff, and ask them to buy Tupperware so that I can get free stuff. You want your customers to have parties for you. I don't do that because then I feel like I'm splitting my business, and you can only go to the well so many times before your customers start saying, what is she selling now? And the people who do multiple businesses, that's totally up to you if you want to do multiple businesses. But if you dedicate yourself to one of them and you become the Scentsy girl or the paparazzi girl, it's hard to be both. It's hard to split your loyalties because you're not going to do great at either business if you're doing both of them part-time. Brand yourself, build your business, focus on that business. It's like owning an ice cream store and then opening up a fruit stand. They're two totally different things. They attract two totally different people. But are you going to be successful at the ice cream stand if you're busy working at the fruit stand? You're not. You've got to dedicate yourself to one or the other if you really want to build your business. And that's really what it's all about. It's about consistency, consistency, consistency. Do I need to say that again? Consistency. That's what it is. You have to be consistent. Every Monday, my customers get Motivational Monday. I post my positive peg post. I do something that's motivational, and lots of times it has something to do with joining my team. You need to pay a bill today. That's what it was about. Scentsy will help you pay your bills. So that's what my motivation was. Do something to help you pay your bills. Tuesday is Tip Tuesday. So I try to go out there and find different things that they might not know. And I try and share videos and say, did you know that you could take the all-purpose cleaner and put it in your steam mop? Use it that way. One day I literally was mopping my floors, and I'm making videos while I'm mopping my floors, showing people how to use it. But guess what? 3 people all ordered all-purpose cleaner that day because they were like, oh, I didn't know you could do that. I didn't know you guys had this. I thought you just had counter clean. I love the counter clean. Let me try the all-purpose clean. And you tell them about the value of it. Your job is really to solve their problems with your products. So when you see people that have a problem, it's funny. I just did this too. My cousin laughs at me because I find ways to share Scentsy that it's almost become a joke now. When somebody has a birthday, it's, I hope you have a sensational birthday. You have an anniversary. I hope you have a sensational anniversary. So it's become a joke that I'm the sensational Scentsy girl, and I find ways to work it into stuff. People say, oh my God, I've got a shower to go to. Oh, do you know we have great shower gifts, So my husband's cousin put out there, the Tooth Fairy. And she's like, God damn it, trying to get under that pillow. And this kid's such a light sleeper. And I woke her up and I almost blew the Tooth Fairy. And I said, well, did you ever think about using her Scentsy Buddy? I know she's got a Scentsy Buddy. She bought it from me. Did you ever think about using her Scentsy Buddy for the Tooth Fairy? And she goes, what do you mean? I said, take the scent pack out, put the tooth in there. It's easy to grab hold of. Most kids aren't sleeping hugging, you grab it, you unzipper it, you slip the tooth out, you slip the money in. There you go. The next day, oh my gosh, look at this. The Tooth Fairy left the money in your Scentsy Buddy. And she's like, oh my God, that's genius. And she goes, wait, how did she put it? She's young. I forget how she put it. Oh, something like word up on your marketing skills or something like that, because I took that opportunity to mention it. And I'm not embarrassed by it. I mean, I make a joke out of it now. Like everybody knows you're going to hear about Scentsy at some point when you talk to me, we're going to hear about Scentsy. My family's sick of it, but my husband said, do you have to talk about Scentsy all the time? I'm like, yes, it's my job. And it's going to be my retirement job. This is going to be my business. This is it, So it's a matter of working it in and looking for those opportunities, looking for people who are out of work, looking for people who are looking for. Katie's peeking her head in. Oh, you want to see? She just wanted to see who was on. Say hello. Say hello. Summer, Berlinda, and Patty are on. Katie says hi
Hi.
in her little whisper voice. She came home from work today and immediately threw on her pajamas. That's the life, COVID world. I love it. But I mean, so look for those opportunities when you see somebody who's out of work or somebody who's looking for a part-time job. Say, hey, have you ever considered doing this? It's a matter of always keeping your eyes and your ears open for opportunities to talk about your business and work it into a conversation. And don't be super salesy about it. Be helpful. Solve a problem. Somebody's got something they're trying to clean. You say, hey, have you tried let me give you a sample of our counter clean. You have somebody who's got dogs, you work that opportunity in there to say, have you tried our freshen up pup? Send them a sample of freshen up pup. That one you actually have to make yourself because you can't get samples of that in the store. So I bought those little jars from Amazon, they're like 3 millimeters, and I fill up a whole bunch of them, and they mail real easy. That Kate's 70-cent stamp to mail one of those. So I mean, anybody I know who has dogs, they've gotten samples of the pet shampoo or the freshen up pup, and and generally when I send out the samples, I don't always get a response from them, but I get a pretty good response when they can actually use the product. That's a matter of let them use the product, then they'll fall in love with it. So why don't you guys tell me some of the stuff that you've tried as far as like samples? Oh, see, she's got her little pug. Hi, handsome.
Say hi, Riley.
Wait, that's a new one. Is that a new one,
This-
Summer?
This is our second dog, Riley, and Roscoe. I don't even know where he went.
Sorry. I thought I was.
Rocky is.
Rocky's who I'm thinking of.
Yeah, I can't figure out where he went.
Yeah, we're all big dog
Oh, there he
people.
is.
I've got 3. You've got 3.
Say hi, Rocky.
There he goes. That's who I was thinking of. I was thinking of Rocky.
Yeah,
Aw.
yeah, Rocky, and they had 5 puppies. Apparently, Roscoe's one of them.
Woof. Breeding.
Yeah.
So what have you guys tried then as far as samples to try and build your business?
Well, I took one of the catalogs, one of the body and everything, the dog scents and everything. I mailed it to a couple of my friends and their family, and those were the only things I sent out, and that I've been getting responses back saying that they're gonna be going to check out them on my website to see
Okay.
of what they can have.
Okay. And follow up with them. If you don't hear back from them, follow up with them. Don't be
Alright.
afraid and say, hey, gotta go. And I use a sense of urgency, and I'll say, hey, I've got an order going in tomorrow. Do you need anything? Did you get a chance to try out those samples? Do you want to try anything? Without being super pushy about it. But if you create that sense of urgency, because if you say to them, okay, well, let me know, that leaves it too open-ended.
All right.
And I was just recently watching another video from another consultant who was talking about how she upsells, and it's not a matter of leaving an open-ended question. So when somebody orders a mini warmer, you say, how about if I get you some extra bulbs with that? Do you want 1 bulb for $2 or 3 bulbs for $5? So this way, when your bulb blows, you'll have one right there ready for you. So you're not saying, do you want some bulbs? You're saying, can I get you 1 or can I get you 3? So think
While
of it
you
that
shake
way.
and while you shake your head like this, they'll say, okay, I
Yeah.
want that too. So
Yeah,
it's kind of a
Right. It's like, so do you want 1 bulb or do you want 3 bulbs? 1 is $2 and 3 is $5. That's the best deal. You haven't given them an option to say no. You just said, which one do you want?
All right.
You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
that's a nice way to upsell. And it's funny because I've had people do that where other consultants that I've heard them say that they upsell on an extra dish. Now, are you the kind of person who breaks things all the time? If you're the kind of person that breaks things all the time, you might want to order an extra dish for that while they're still available, just in case. Although if you change your wax the right way, you won't need the dish, but it's always good to have one on hand. Dishes are $8, and then they've got an extra dish if they break their dish, because there's nothing worse than a warmer that they absolutely love and then the dish is no longer available. And that's also something that's really good to do at the change of the seasons. So reach out to all the people who have and say, this warmer is being discontinued in a new catalog. Check and make sure that the dish is available before you do that. But that's always something that says, do you want to order an extra dish for this right now? Because sometimes when people love their warmer, they don't want to have to order another warmer because it's generally the dish that breaks.
Right.
And it's also, oh, do you know how to change your wax? Oh, you know what? The best way to change your wax is by using the cotton cleanups. You can get 25 of them for $6. I'll add that to your order. So again, I'll add that to your order. Right.
Yeah.
So I mean that too. And I mean, I tell my customers too, you can, if they say no, I say, well, you can use regular cotton balls too, because I want them to know to use the cotton balls to change their wax. But whenever it's a new customer, I always have that conversation about how to change your wax, because you'd be surprised how many people don't know how to do it. They stick it in the fridge, they cut it with a knife, and that's how they break their dish.
That was me when I first when I went to a party, and the girl never did, let me know, because I always knew that the candle wax always melted and evaporated. Well, with Scentsy, it just loses its scent.
Yeah.
They didn't tell me I needed to change it, get it out and put a new cube in. And I just let it go. And like, why isn't this thing evaporating? Right. And she never did tell me that.
It's funny. I had a girl do a party who is now on the team, but her very first party was over Memorial Day weekend, a $1,200 party this girl did. So all these people bought all this stuff. Well, then I followed up with her and I followed up with all the customers, every couple of weeks. And then she just like stopped answering me. So finally, I mean, she was somebody I used to work with. So like I had a relationship with her. I finally followed up and I said, Stacy, you like bought all this stuff. And like, I've been following up with you and you're ignoring me. Was there something wrong with it? Did I do something wrong? Because like then I'm thinking, oh, and I was still fairly new. I mean, I was in like less than a year, and she goes, well, you know what? The truth of the matter is, Peg, like I used it for like a couple of weeks. And then like after a month, I just like couldn't smell it anymore. And I'm like, did you change it? And she goes, what do you mean change it? And I'm like, oh, so this was the difference between somebody who did a book party with all of her friends over Memorial Day weekend in the backyard. They just blanketly ordered from the catalog without knowing anything about Scentsy. But then I asked her if I could come to her house and do a demonstration, not to sell people stuff, but to show them how to use it properly. So she invited over like 4 of her friends, and then I talked to them about all the products that we had, how to properly use it, how to properly change your wax. And guess what? Stacy joined my team. So she's been on the team for a long time, but was honest with me. She's like, look, it just stopped smelling. And I'm like, oh, okay. Well, what kind of a room did you have it in? And I'm like asking all these questions about what's the airflow in the room and what scent were you using? Did it not throw far enough? And then she said, well, I had it in there for about a month. And I'm like, oh, you never changed it? And she's like, what do you mean changed it? So I was like, boom. And that's when I realized that I need to have better communication with my customers so that they know how to properly use our product, because your job is to solve problems, to introduce them to your products and show them how to properly use them so that they can enjoy them the right way for as long as they possibly can. You want everybody to fall in love with it. Well, they're not going to fall in love with it if they don't know how to use it the right way.
Right.
And I mean, the same thing like our bathroom cleaner. Our bathroom cleaner has it's coconut oil base that cuts through soap scum. It's not like other cleaners because it's a natural based coconut oil that gets behind the soap scum and cleans up the soap scum. Well, if they don't know that, they're not knowing when you got a soap scum problem, use this. My mother had shower doors that had been when she bought the house. So those shower doors were probably 20 years old and they were getting all mucky and foggy and like over years and years and years. She could never get those things cleaned. She tried everything. Our bathroom cleaner cleaned them. Our bathroom cleaner made it so that all that foggy stuff came off of them, and now those doors look clear again. So, you know, I mean, if she didn't know to use it on those doors, you know, if I didn't tell her about it, I'm like, oh no, I solved her problem. And that's what you are. You've got to be a problem solver. So look for people's problems and look for ways that you can solve the problems. Somebody's got money issues. Guess what? You can solve the problem. Somebody wants to meet new people. You can solve the problem. Somebody lost their job. You can solve the problem. They're trying to pay their bills. You can solve the problem. Somebody's got dogs. You could solve the problem. They got stinky teenage boys. You could solve the problem. You know, I mean, think of all those things, you know? So, so all those different ways that you can introduce it and you find the product that fits their issue. You know, I've got a little bathroom and, you know, I don't really have a plug in there. Okay. Scentsy Go, the fragrance flower. There's lots of things that we have that can fit in that room that doesn't have a plug. You know, so look for those different ways. How about you, Patty? Got anything to add today?
No, I just do a lot of, like I said, samples and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and right now, I mean, we were talking, you and I were chatting a little bit back and forth, you know, and right now, you don't even necessarily need catalogs right now. Everybody's shopping online. There's very few people that are even asking for a catalog. I bought a whole bunch of them, and I've been asking people because some people are first off, some people are saving the planet too. You know, respect to the people who are trying to save the planet. They're like, no, I'll just shop online. I don't want a catalog. But then there's, you know, the older generation, we're used to catalogs. Like we want something tangible to hold in our hands, you know. The younger generation's just like, oh no, I'll shop online, you know. So I ask people before I spend the money, first off, sending them a catalog. I ask them if they want, you know, if they want something that's a hard copy for me to send to them. You know, but right now most people are saying, no, it's okay, I'll shop online because we're all getting conditioned to do that right now. We can't get out in front of people, so you have to find other ways. You know, can you think of any other creative ways that you can get in front of your customers or, you know, get things in their hands? You know, and that's samples and conversation. People are dying for conversation. You know, really, I mean, everybody's stuck in the house, you know, nobody's getting out. We all want human interaction. I just had a lady book a party for and her party's going to be a virtual party on Zoom, and all of her friends are just ordering fragrance flowers. So everybody's going to have their fragrance flowers shipped to them. There's a couple of people that are local to her. So I'm going to have 5 of them shipped to her. And then I have 3 other ladies that I'm shipping them. She's going to get those fragrance flowers and we're all going to get on Zoom and we're all going to color them. So everybody knows to get themselves some Sharpie markers in their favorite colors, you know, and we're going to get together and we're going to color flowers. And I'm going to talk to them all about the flowers and I'm going to talk to them about the other products that we have while they color the flowers. So that's something that's fun. They get together with their girlfriends, you know, and it's all via Zoom. Everybody's sitting in the comfort of their own home and their fuzzy bunny slippers, you know, they're buying their own Sharpies and, you know, so I mean, and for her, I actually bought a pack of Sharpies. I bought a pack of 10 Sharpies and sent them, you know, to her with the flowers. You know, she's somebody local. So I was able to, like, you know, get the flowers, have them delivered to me. And I got the Sharpies and dropped them off and said, here, you can give 2 to each of your friends that are local. You know, the other ladies will have to get their own Sharpies, you know, I'm not, might have mailed them to them, but, you know, but there's some creative ways that you can do that, you know, different things to get people going. We've done the bingo parties. They're still a thing. They're still doing really well. And scavenger hunt parties. You know, has anybody tried a scavenger hunt party?
I have a paper that it shows. I think I have one, but it shows pages, the little pictures, and what page is it on?
Okay, so that's a scavenger hunt for the catalog. Have you
Right.
tried one like on Zoom? If, are you guys all subscribed to our team YouTube channel? No?
No, I
No.
haven't.
I will post the team YouTube channel link. go out to the YouTube channel. I put all of these out, all the team meetings, all the training Tuesdays, everything's out there. I have videos on making samples, and I have one for the scavenger hunt. We had so much fun, but I mean, it was everybody knew I'm recording you guys because I want to be able to show this to other consultants how to do it. And at the time I did it, like buzzworthy wax was like the wax that was the scent of the month. So I made myself a little script, and there were different things, and I asked them to get their whole families involved. Like one lady was there with her husband and her son, and I was like, okay, so the scent of the month is buzzworthy wax. Go find honey. So they're running around their house trying to find different things and come back with honey. Okay, you're the first person to come back with honey. You get points. The second person gets so many points, and so everybody build up points to win a prize. But then it gave me the opportunity to talk about the buzzworthy wax. And then I was like, okay, how many of you have dogs? And half of the group had dogs, half the group didn't. So it was go find me a dog leash or a dog toy, and those who don't have a dog, go and find me a kid's toy or something like that. I forget exactly how I worded it, but it was like different things that led me back to our products. So each one gave me an opportunity to talk about our products, but it was all things that the average home would have that they had to run around their house and find. And I'm like, don't hurt yourself while you're running around the house, And I encouraged them to get their family involved. It was fun. It was silly. Everybody had a good time with it, And I mean, even the bingos, like the bingos, I have a sample of a bingo out there too that I actually did for a girl who was joining. So it was actually her launch party, the bingo, but there's a sample of that out there too. And give it a try. It's just a matter of giving people something to do that's fun, that's different. And I mean, even if you invite people and you just say, I'm trying to test this. Sarah Thomas does that all the time. Sarah Thomas's favorite one is, you know what? I've got a new idea for a party. I'm going to ask a couple of my customers to get on. You don't have to buy anything. I'm just trying to test this new idea. So try that with, the first time you're doing a scavenger hunt, first time you're doing, people might buy stuff. They might not. You might just have a lot of fun, but then you'll be that fun Scentsy lady. And they're liable to tell other people how much fun they had doing it, and might get you some bookings. So think outside the box.
Yeah.
There's lots of different ways to do this business. It's just a matter of you finding a creative way that's going to fit some of your customers. So anybody else have any great ideas? I'm full of them. I'm full of ideas. I got a
Something
million.
I can think of.
Okay, so take advantage of the fact if you have any stock on hand. Valentine's Day is this week. You don't really have time to order stuff, but if you have any stock on hand, make yourself some cute little gifts, to advertise. Look, this is a cute little Valentine's. Make sure you advertise them privately. You can't do those out publicly unless, if you're not charging extra, you can do it publicly. You can say, oh, look, do you want to get this? Just don't say it's stock on hand. That's OCC. So, and by the way, Summer, do you know what OCC is?
Oh, no.
It's out of compliance. So if something's
Okay.
out of compliance, it's that. And the general rule for compliance is that if you and Patty lived on the same block and you're out there saying, I'm selling my bars for $5 and she's selling her bars for $6 as they are in the catalog, you're out of compliance because people would want to buy from you as opposed to buy from her. And it makes it so that it's not an even playing field.
Oh,
So
okay.
think of it that way. It's got to be an even playing field.
All right.
Okay, so you are allowed to fancy things up, but you're not allowed to charge a different price than what's in the catalog. You're not allowed to do pay for play. So that means like I did the Super Bowl pool. So my Super Bowl pool, everybody paid for a block, but they got a product, they got equal value. So I didn't make any money on it. I actually cost me money because I used the free and half price items as the gifts. But everybody got something for what they paid for the block. They got gifts, So
Okay.
everybody got Super Bowl, the football, the NFL wax. Everybody in the NFL wax, put some extra stuff in there. So everybody got back what they actually paid. So there's no pay for play. You can't charge people $10 and give them nothing.
All right.
So same thing like with the bingos. People can't pay to play the bingo. The bingo has to be free. You want to get them on there to place orders.
All right.
So that's the general rule is just, you can't have an advantage over another consultant. It's got to be an even playing field. So you can incentivize people to buy from you by giving them free stuff, unless it's within a party. because that's all within your catalog. Okay,
All right.
so that's my spiel for today. Anybody have anything to add, or if not, we'll shut it down for this month and on to March. Well, we're
Okay.
not on to March yet. Still got a lot of February left.
A lot of snow coming.
Yeah.
And take advantage of that. Like, I'm like, you're stuck in the house in a snowstorm. Shop with Scentsy, you know? Got nothing to do. Get a bunch of your girlfriends together, grab some wine, and let's get on a Zoom. And, you know, so I mean, I've done that with just my customers and like, oh, I got some new warmers in. Come on, everybody jump on a Zoom, you know, and I'll put it out there and different people jump on. I've had it where I've had 2 people get on. But guess what? 2 people, it's 2 people I get to talk to.
All right.
You know, and I say, guess what? You get my undivided attention. It's only the 2 of you. Woo woo, you know. Just a matter of making it fun, you know, and you know, show them something. Show them something different, because we all know that our warmers look way different in person. So I've just started ordering the new warmers. I didn't order the bundle pack, you know, when it first came out, because I didn't want to get, you know, I want to pick the warmers that I want. So I didn't order the sales pack. I did for the wax, but not for the warmers. And I just started getting in some of the warmers. So I'm going to go live tomorrow for, you know, my Tip Tuesday. I'm going to go in there and I'm going to show them the moon over Jupiter warmer with different light bulbs. You know, I've showed pictures of it, but I want to actually show them in person. Look at this, and oh, look at it with the purple bulb, and oh, look at it with this bulb, you know. So I want to be able to actually show it to them. And, you know, so I'm going to do a little live video tomorrow for that. You know, so
All
don't
right.
be afraid to do that too. Get your stuff
Okay.
out there, do live, get in front of people's faces. You know, become that person that they see. I'm Positive Peg. I'm the Scentsy lady, you know, and that's what everybody knows me as. So, you know, you've got to build that up so that that's who they know you as.
Okay.
Okay.
Very good.
Okay.
All right.
Great,
Yeah.
folks.
All right.
Enjoy and happy Valentine's.
Thank you. You too.
You
All right.
too.
Talk to you later. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.